Probably have some older songs on my list.
I got some Glenn Miller Orchestra stuff on mine.
All right, need to get to a timeout. Back with more here on the Sideline Report at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Big John's Barbecue. Be sure to like and follow them on Facebook.
From the Weather Edge Weather Center, sunshine today with a high near 69 degrees. Clear tonight, low down to 47. More sunshine on Friday and Saturday. Friday's high 75, Saturday's high up to 76 degrees. Once again, our forecast today, 69 and sunshine.
Enjoy lunch and this beautiful fall weather in Western Kentucky on the covered porch at Adams Breezy Hill Farm. This is a perfect way to make an ordinary lunch a little extraordinary. They specialize in making your lunch or dinner more than just a meal. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 10:30 to 2:30 for lunch, and Thursday through Saturday, 4:30 to 8:30 for dinner. Follow them on Facebook for giveaways and more. Adams Breezy Hill Farm, 1222 Cadiz Road, Princeton, Kentucky, 270-365-1234.
Continental Mills, makers of Krusty's brand baking mixes, is hiring. Listen to why their employees find Continental Mills the best place to work.
Hi, this is Ireland with Continental Mills. First year of working there, I managed to buy my very first car. After 2 years, I just got approved for a mortgage. The benefits are really good. I've already gotten a raise, life insurance and health insurance, 2 3-day weekends a month, an hour during lunch, and then we all just eat and play games with each other. Quarterly bonuses. They provide us with uniforms. We don't even have to wash them because they have their own laundering.
Back on the Sideline Report at 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and happy birthday to us. Again, 4 years of the Sideline Report.
No cake. I didn't bring a cake.
No, I didn't think that far ahead.
I didn't either. But that's how this thing rolls, isn't it?
And we do have another flashback from our first show, so take a listen to this.
And it's a good partnership. You know, we're blessed in this community to have a radio station, as we talked earlier, that does these games. We're blessed to have a newspaper that is supportive of sports and everything that goes on in the community, and we're just all better working together.
Well, I want to emphasize that, and it's not me or you or anybody else. It's just the community. A lot of places don't have this. I've gone to other schools before trying to get stats. You know, they don't have those things. I've asked, who are your 1,000-point scorers in basketball?
They can't tell you.
Nobody knows. Nobody ever put that together. Well, it's really neat to be able to have that stuff here to, you know, think to all the guys who have done the sports back through the years. Yeah. Thank goodness they put stats together, because when I went back and did the football book and did basketball stats and whatever, so much of that stuff was there. I mean, you know, maybe not everything, but enough of it was there to make an effort to try to put together record books and history books and results. And
we need that stuff.
You know, I love that stuff. Yeah. I'm hoping other people do too, because I keep putting it out there. So, hopefully they do. But thankfully, along the way, somebody at the paper always was a sports fan, or for the most part. Yeah. Because even going back to the 1920s, you see basketball coverage and the football team results were almost always put in there. And so if I'm doing anything, I'm just trying to continue what somebody else started.
That's awesome. And before you was Joey Randolph, and you know, Brad Kimmel was around doing stuff, and I don't even know who it was.
Even back through the years, I mean, the 40s and 50s, somebody always had all that. So that's big great. that information
was there. It tells you a lot about Caldwell County and their sports fanaticism too, because it is. This is a community that cares about its sports programs and what their kids are doing and supportive. We talked about that. So, boy, it's going to be fun, and I can't thank you enough for being here today.
Is that really what we sound like on the air, Ty?
I never have liked what I sound like on the air, to tell you the truth, but. You know, we were talking about the stats, and I think of, you know, there's somebody that comes up to mind that was a sports person. You know, Chip kept those stats, you know, when he was at the paper. And, of course, Mr. Beavers, who just passed, you know, he did sports not only at the paper, but he did them at WPKY, too. Yeah. He worked at the paper and WPKY. So, you know, I know Mr. Beavers, you know, was a big part of keeping those stats. And how it's an archive. It's a record, and we are blessed, as we talked about then, to have that, because a lot of communities just don't. And look at the guys that you have now. You got a great team on the sideline with Gary and Chris, and you know, I don't know if Tyler's still doing it or not for you, but you know, that's valuable information.
Carl Copeland comes down and keeps stats for us sometimes too. So. Yeah, it's always great that people are willing to come out and kind of help that way.
Yeah, and then, of course, you had guys who were doing, you know, the basketball stats. So very valuable information.
We do have a top 5 we want to get to. Going to run through it quickly this morning, but it's our top 5 favorite stadium arena songs. These are the songs you hear at ball games, and as always, I thought this would be easy. It ended up not being easy.
No, it's not. Well, it's when you have 5, you want about 50. There's a whole bunch of good stuff that you just got to leave off.
A top 10 would be greater, but we only have an hour show.
That's right. That's right. We're going to start with number 5. Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You could go first.
Okay. And this is kind of one of those that I really don't like, but I had to put it in the top 5 because you hear it a lot, and it's "Kiss Him Goodbye," na, by Steam.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, like I said, it's not. It's one of those you hear like, oh. You're like, ah, but you got to put it up there.
As a St. Louis Blues fan, my number 5 is going to be "Gloria" by Laura Branigan.
There you go.
That was the official or unofficial anthem of the 2019 Stanley Cup champions.
They made the run.
Yeah.
So, as soon as they heard it, they made the run.
Well, without the song, who knows what was going to happen? I mean,
but that's sports, you know. It's just you get on a streak, something starts that streak, and you better stay with it.
No doubt that anybody is superstitious or anything.
No, we wouldn't want to go there. All right, my number 4, and where would we be without the Rolling Stones and Start Me Up?
Oh, for sure. How else are you going to start a football game without "Start Me Up" by the Rolling Stones?
I mean, can you have a kickoff without it?
No, you need to play that. My number 4 is "Sabotage" by the Beastie Boys.
That's one of my favorites. I mean, to me that, and if you haven't seen the video for that,
it's one of the greatest ever.
There's no doubt about it. And then when you implement it in a Star Trek movie, blowing up stuff, and I mean, that gives me chills thinking about that.
That was Star Trek Beyond?
I think so, yeah. So when Captain Kirk's blowing up stuff and you got Sabotage going in the back.
But they call it classical music.
That's right, back then, because they were in 2375, I think, right?
So it's classical music to them. So, okay, we're up to number 3.
Hey, we got a little bit of our sci-fi in there this morning.
Yeah, but we'll talk Star Wars at some point.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Okay, number 3, you got to get the AC/DC going with Thunderstruck.
All right. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
My number 3, we talked about it, the Rolling Stones, "Start Me Up."
There you go.
It's just not an NFL game if you don't hear "Start Me Up" as the kicker approaches the ball to kick off.
Right, and I was trying to think of all the different sports I'd attended, whether it was a college basketball game. I haven't seen the NBA games, but I've watched it on TV. You can hear stuff in the background. I've been to NFL games and Major League Baseball, stuff like that. So, and then the high school stadiums, they get to rocking too.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of an old Ramones fan.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is going to be the Blitzkrieg Bop.
That was very close to making my list.
Yeah.
I wanted to put it on there, but again, I only had 5.
I know.
But the "Hey Ho, Let's Go."
Yeah.
I mean,
you gotta love
do
the
you ever
Ramones.
not hear that?
Yeah, you got to. I went with the stuff that kind of just mainstream, but gotta love it.
All right, my number 2, and you've already talked about this one too, AC/DC, "Thunderstruck."
There you go. I love how our lists are always kind of similar. I mean, we're thinking on the same wavelength. So yeah, you just that fires you up when you hear that.
Well, the best UK football opening ever up at Kroger Field, Commonwealth Stadium, whatever you want to call it now, was when they played "Thunderstruck," and they had Jared Lorenzen and Derek Abney and those guys, and they would start playing that, and the crowd would get hyped, and I'm telling you, standing there on the sideline taking pictures, when I heard all of that and saw all of that and heard the crowd, I could have run down on that first kickoff and busted somebody up.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's for, man. Let's get worked up.
Now somebody would have had to have dialed 911 immediately after the first play. I would have needed help to get off the field.
Well,
but for one play, I could have sprinted down that field and hit somebody.
We can help you on that 911. And then let's go to number 1. Now, I could say, well, I love the national anthem. That ought to be number 1.
Yeah.
And so, honorable mention, I'm going to make that my number 1 because I believe we ought to play
every
it.
Game,
yeah. But this song to me is just good no matter where it's played, when it's played, and its Journeys Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah. That almost made my list as well.
I had to put it at number 1 just because it is. It's not a fire-up song, but it's just Journey. I like it.
I kind of cheated a little bit with my number 1. This is kind of 2 songs, but you hear them both at ball games constantly, and It's "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions"
There you
by
go.
Queen.
Yep.
I think "We Are the Champions" is the ultimate, hey, we just won something song.
Yeah, no doubt. It should have made my list, and it easily could have, but I figured you might have it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to let you have all the glory on "We Are the Champions." And
Like I said, I figured it probably went too heavly with the rock stuff. I mean, but I could have had Ozzy Osbourne or a lot of things on
Crazy
there. So,
Train, that's
yeah.
a class. I not really like now. Well, I say now. It's been going on for a while. Your major league players. I don't remember Pete Rose stepping up and playing Crazy Train or Wichita Lineman, maybe, but
or anything really.
Yeah.
There used to be an organist, and that was the music you heard in the stadium the whole game.
and now your individual players step up and they got their own songs.
Oh, and everybody's got to have walk-up music.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny, but music does something for your soul,
It
does
does.
something for the heart, it does something at sporting events that just make it a little bit fun.
Well, it kind of energizes you. Sometimes that crowd is just kind of sitting there, and they need just a little boost to kind of get fired up. And
Especially if you're a Rupp Arena, right?
yeah. So those are our top 5 songs, and we could have done a top 5 Star Wars anything, but I think we've probably about played out our Star Wars top 5.
I wouldn't go that far, Todd. I got a feeling it will resurface at some point. That and our Star Trek. I'm trying to now. I'm not on the Marvel stuff yet.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Well, you need to really check out those movies.
Yeah, I know. You've been telling me. I don't know why. I just cannot get there, but I'm working on it.
For the most part, they're all really good.
I know. That's what I see. I see bits and pieces of them. They're intriguing, but I just can't seem to sit down and find the time to.
Well, the top 5 was always a favorite part of the morning when we first started.
It was.
We were sitting here with an hour, and like you said, the first several months we didn't really have any sponsors or really any guests or anything. So, the top 5 was always a nice diversion between sports.
I'm even getting comments this morning. What's the top 5? and a lot of people, a few people say that they even like the top 5 and the top 10 that don't involve sports.
Yeah.
So I always like the food ones, and we might have to do that for Thanksgiving. I don't know.
That would probably be pretty good for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we might have to do some food. It might not have to be Thanksgiving food. It might just be
any food.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Talking with Ty Englebright this morning on the Sideline Report. Need to get to a timeout, but we'll continue right after this here on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Black Patch Grill.
From the Weather Edge Weather Center, sunshine today with a high near 69 degrees. Clear tonight, low down to 47. More sunshine on Friday and Saturday. Friday's high 75, Saturday's high up to 76 degrees. Once again, our forecast today, 69 and sunshine.
Get the care that you need to stay mentally and physically well from the convenience of your home. Health First Community Health Center is doing their part to help stop the spread. They're now offering telehealth services to keep you healthy at home. Scheduling a virtual visit with your medical or behavioral health provider is easy. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, or computer and internet access. Contact their office for an appointment at 877-667-7017. That's 877-667-7017. At Health First, your health is their first concern.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Back on the Sideline Report here at 1580 103.3 WPKY. Ty Englebright is with us, and Ty, a little Genesis coming out of.
I like that. I noticed that. They're on tour, actually.
Yeah, they are. I can't believe that. I saw that the other day. There was a picture from like their first show.
Phil Collins is in a chair.
Yeah,
God
I'm
bless
like,
him.
When did they get back on tour?
Yeah, I think they're going to do a stint through England, and then I think they're going to head over to the United States.
Wow.
So, yeah, but Phil Collins is in a chair. And I think Mike Rutherford does part of the show in a chair. So, but at least they're still out there doing it.
Yeah.
You got to give them credit.
Well, I've actually got Alice Cooper and Ace Frehley tickets for next month.
Man, I saw Alice Cooper a couple years ago, and at Halloween, it was great.
I think it's been a year and a half since I've been to a concert, so I'm kind of ready to go back.
You're ready to get back. I hear you.
We mentioned on the show earlier, no football game this week. The game at Ballard Memorial has been canceled, and the Tigers were unable to find a replacement, although they do hope they can find a team for the Week 10 spot. That was the open week between the Murray game and the Trigg County game, so hopefully the Tigers can still pick up an extra game there. Last time out, the Tigers beating Union County, previously undefeated Union County, 24-13 at Tiger Stadium. And our C3 lineman of the game for that contest was Elijah Shaheen. The power play lineman brought to you by C3 Electric, selling and servicing Generac generators, new construction, remodels, and more. With over 24 years experience, you can trust C3 Electric for quality service and installation. Again, Elijah Shaheen is the C3 lineman of the game for his efforts against Union County last week at Tiger Stadium. And Ty, a big win there for the Tigers over a Union County team that had been 4-0.
That's right, and those games are always great between when the Tigers and the Union County Braves get together. And we seem to have their number, though, don't we? It just seems to always, whether we play up there or down here, I don't know if we're just inside their head or what it is, but I've been really impressed, and I haven't kept up with, my kids are gone from the high school, but of course I had a son that, played football for Caldwell County, and I kept up with it a whole lot. But what I have noticed just enough is that we've really made some good adjustments, it seems like, from that first game, where we had that loss to Christian. Of course, Christian County, got to give them to, they always have a pretty good team, field a great team, but really seen, some of the adjustments I think the coaches made and the players, and it's turning out good.
Yeah. I think everyone kind of thought maybe it would be just a little bit of a down year at Caldwell County. That was kind of what everybody was writing and saying. Somebody told me before the season started, though, that a lot of times at Caldwell County, when everybody's kind of predicting us to be down a little bit, we usually end up with a pretty good record that year.
Right.
That somehow we pieced together a pretty good season. And right now the Tigers at 3-2, 4-2, I guess, if you get to count the COVID victory, COVID forfeit at Ballard Memorial. But Tigers kind of playing well, knocked off a Union County team that came in with a lot of momentum. And,
exactly.
You look at the schedule remaining, if you get to play those games, and, you kind of like the chances of having a winning season and potentially getting a home playoff game, maybe winning a playoff game and moving on. So,
and you never know. Yeah, as we know, it's always about being hot if you get to get in the playoffs and get on. We talked about streaks earlier, but yeah, you hate that they maybe seem like they have a little bit of momentum, and you lose that by not having a game possibly this week, and you kind of wish you could kind of keep things going that are positive. But I'm sure that maybe they get some extra practice in and get to work on some things and move forward.
Well, some extra practice, because coming to town next week is Mayfield.
Yeah, that's always a big one to put on the schedule, but a great rivalry.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's been back and forth. The past several years, we've had some controversy involved with it. It seems like there's always controversy involved in those games. But the neat thing about that game is that no matter how good Mayfield is, Caldwell County is always a little bit in the back of their head, knowing that they might get a game, they might get a loss, and it could potentially happen. And we're not intimidated by them.
Yeah, it's always a difficult matchup because Mayfield is good year in and year out. But I think if you go back over the last 10 or 12 years, Caldwell has had about as much success against Mayfield as anybody has.
No doubt.
Which isn't a ton, but there are a few wins here and there, and a couple of games that maybe we thought should have gone a little differently that did not. But for the most part, those games have been pretty competitive.
No doubt about it. And, it's unfortunate when you get extra kicks and penalties at the end of the games that just seem to come out of nowhere. But like I said, you can't dwell on that kind of stuff. You got to move forward and know that, there's another game to play, and you just give it your best shot each time you go out there and lay it all out on the gridiron.
So, again, no football game this week for the Tigers. Also, no volleyball tonight for the Lady Tiger volleyball team. That match at Marshall County has been canceled. Soccer is still on tonight, as far as I know right now. The Lady Tigers and Tigers both going to Paducah St. Mary, and both teams had big wins over Paducah Tillman here at Butler Stadium on Tuesday, so good luck to those teams. And this is the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Ty Englebright in the studio with us this morning, and it's been 4 years since we started the show. And Ty, one thing I wanted to mention that, we started talking about it earlier a little bit, is the information. I always thought we were just another service to get information out there, and when we'd have guests on, to me that's just again, I keep coming back to it, but information, I think, is what people want and what they crave, and that's what they're looking for when they listen to the radio or pick up a newspaper or check Twitter and Facebook and whatever else. They're looking for info.
I think they're looking for info, and again, this show has always provided a fantastic way to, in this radio station, in the radio station of Ham Broadcasting, all of them, that's what they do. They provide information. They provide information that is statistical for as far as sports is concerned. How many yards did a team get? How many carries did this kid have, and how many touchdowns were scored, but information that is needed in other ways too, where the ball game is, if it's canceled, if there's another one, and then of course you got the entertainment factor, which is always good too. So if you can provide all those things, which I think the Sideline Report definitely does, and some of the other shows that we have on here, it just brings fullness and roundness to everything, and that's what it's all about.
Well, and absolutely free. We have free news over at WPKYonline.com. Want free sports of the Caldwell County High School teams? YourSportsEdge.com. I mean,
that's exactly right, and there, it's free to the listeners, but of course we have fabulous sponsors that come on and provide the way and the means for us to get that information and put it on there so that people can tune in and click online and get all that information.
A little strange. Did you ever think 30 or 35 years ago, or however long it's been now, that we were at WPKY on the Dawson Road, that 35 years later we would still be sitting here?
I thought you might, Todd. I thought you might. I don't know about me. I'm a little bit more of a feather in the wind, but no, it's such a. I love this business. I love the business that there's a certain once you are involved in commercial radio or radio of any kind, it just sort of tugs at your heart, and you can never get it out of your system. So I really am appreciative to get to come back and come on the radio some, because it's part of what I put my heart and soul in, for several years, and I love it. I love serving the community at a radio station. I get to still serve the community in my capacity now, and I still get to kind of play radio in a way too. So for what I do,
people can definitely hear you on.
Yeah, I work out at the 911 dispatch center now, so it's great to serve the community behind the scenes in an important role like that, and still, you still kind of have a little bit of a radio aspect. It's certainly different, but because it's critical of the information that you get out there, but. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to come and be a part of this show again, because it is dear to my heart. This whole radio station here and this family is important to this community. You guys do a fantastic job, everybody here, and it's a labor of love, and you guys pour heart and soul into it. So congratulations to you for 4 years.
Well, just interesting that, I never thought this would actually be the radio station. As I mentioned when we first came on in the flashback, it was the Quick Pick back in the day.
Well, I grew up on this street, and I know you did, with your grandfather's, business and your dad's business over here. You're right next door to the lot, and I think we had some crossover time here at the convenience store that was here years ago. Especially we were old video game guys. So
I'm still looking for that centipede by the door.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have to talk to the ownership about that. But it's just a really neat thing to be, like I said, 35 years and to be able to still be doing this and contributing. It's just a blessing, really, and we're blessed in this community.
Yeah, kind of miss the druthers across the street. I don't know how many times I ran across the road, which, even the road now is wider than it used to be. So things have changed. I watched them build the Taco John's building over here, and now Taco John's is at a different location. I watched them build the Pizza Hut building just up the street, and now it's not there. Pizza Hut's in its second building from the original, so just kind of weird how things change.
I think that's the third.
Is it the third?
Yeah, remember they were across the street, and then they came back over there, at the old gas station, so yeah.
So it's kind of funny when you sit here and you kind of talk like, like the older guys. When you were young, you listened to the older guys talk about, hey, there used to be a barbecue on this corner, and it's like, okay.
I don't feel that way, but we are the old guys now. That's the thing. It's so funny. You think, I remember when this was here, and this was here, and this was here. But one thing that's been consistent is that WPKY has been here since 1950.
Yeah.
and hopefully it'll be here for a long time. And what they've done for those 70 plus years now is provide vital news, information, and sports to this community and surrounding. So the great thing about what you're doing and what everybody's doing here is that it's consistency, it's a legacy, and it keeps moving forward. And that's what everybody needs to be proud of.
Well, and especially when you look back in the day, the only daily source for news and sports was WPKY.
No doubt. And, what a legacy WPKY has here in town for Mr. Goodacre and Twyman and Betty and all the folks that have been behind the mic here. And then, of course, with the McEnady saving our radio station and the Hugheses, and everybody coming together when it was about gone, and then now Ham Broadcasting taking the reins and making it bigger and better and still about local and the community. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming in and being on the show today. Thanks for getting us going 4 years ago. And like I said, when we did that first show, we weren't even really sure there would be a second show. So here we are.
Well, thank you for everything you do for our community. Thanks to Ham Broadcasting. And Todd, I think it's easy to say you're unmatched in your sports
thank you.
Abilities and coverage here in our county and your sports edge and everything that everybody does. So congratulations to you for keeping it rolling. And we're certainly appreciative, and I look forward to our Thanksgiving show.
I was going to say, what do we have left for Thanksgiving?
I don't know. We'll just have to put our heads together, and we'll figure out a great show for that as well. We'll definitely have to do some eating, I think.
Will it be a Thanksgiving leftovers show?
Maybe it might have to be that. It might have to be that.
No, we'll come up with something.
We'll have to come up with something.
The great thing about sports, and this is something we found out when we first started the show, was there's always something new to talk about.
Right. We'll be in the middle of basketball. So,
yeah.
Basketball will have started. I think. Yeah, should be. And of course, we'll be hopefully, be cool to be talking about some of the maybe football playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, or at least we can look back and reminisce on it be about over. We'll be right kind of, I think it's about the 1st of December when we're talking about the football playoffs and the state championship.
Yeah.
So no telling what we'll be talking about.
Yeah, we didn't think we could make it 30 minutes on that first show.
No.
We're like, well, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, we'll just do whatever. And it ended up being an hour. So
yeah, and there were many times, need to say, we get in trouble for maybe going over.
Yeah.
So, I think that we certainly appreciate that everybody that tunes in and listens as well.
Absolutely.
Because we get comments. I've got people listening this morning knowing that I was going to be on. I've got people that consistently I come in from work and I turn on YouTube and I usually check it out on YouTube. So, again, thanks to you and congratulations on 4 years.
Yeah, again, thanks for coming in, Ty. And
appreciate it,
we'll
Todd.
talk to you
Thank
on Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
That's Ty Englebright. That's going to wrap up the Sideline Report for this week. This is Todd Griffin. Thanks a whole lot for being with us here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
WPKY, Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. More Americans are staying on unemployment, and new claims for benefits have ticked back up to 351,000.
That is higher than expected. The continuing number, actually, this rose 2.845 million.